So, I wanted to talk about focus and how important focus actually is for not only starting a business, but maintaining a business, and why it's such a powerful tool that everyone, including me, needs to adopt and needs to learn more about focus and not getting distracted. And when I say that, I don't mean just getting distracted by day-to-day tasks like your phone, like, your notifications going off on your phone, but long-term focus on specific goals you have. This can be business, this can be life goals. And I've been learning this the hard way these past couple months. I mean, let's dive right into it, shall we? But yeah, these past couple months. So I actually had my best month, I'd say. It was actually 2 months ago, and then this month or last month, I dropped a little bit in revenue. Not much at all. Maybe a couple $100, honestly. It wasn't much at all, but I noticed something. And it's so funny, and it's the paradox is just crazy. And it's you start making more money in your business, and then your mind starts to wander. What's new? What can I get into that's new? Whether that's crypto, stocks, real estate. Like, it's so funny how our mind works like this. But you inherently start making less money by trying to make more money in something else, even though you have specific knowledge and a really good, large amount of information about that specific domain. Might as well keep putting more effort into that, right? No. Instead, our mind, it's a trick. Our mind starts tricking ourselves and starts saying, hey, what about this? You could also make money in this. And then what the funniest thing about that is, you think, oh, maybe, if I just invest in stocks on the side, that's fine. And I'm not saying like, I do think after a certain degree of wealth you have in your bank account, you should put it in like the S&P 500. That's fine. But I'm saying like looking at stocks every day or crypto or real estate and start looking at the news on it, right? So going back to what I was saying, it's instead of just putting, maybe you just throw money in the stock market, right? And you think, oh, I won't worry about it. Then you start going on your phone a little bit more and you start checking how the stocks are doing. And maybe that's only a day, right? You do that every other day, let's say. But then it starts to compound. And you start checking stocks more. And then you start getting into stocks more. Then it starts affecting the focus on your business. And it's like, okay, so if that stock that I invested in, over the next year, it makes me $1,000. Why would I not just put all that mental energy into signing another client? And then I would make $1,000 like that, right? But no, we don't. We don't think that way for some reason. We think that it's passive income, right? Investing into those stocks. Is it really passive though? If you're checking it every day, worrying what's happening on the stock market, worrying about what's happening with inflation or, interest rates or any of that type of stuff, why not just put that mental energy back into the business? And that's what I've been struggling with lately. And it's just, I've hit a point now where it's like, okay, I have to stop. I have to stop worrying about any other investments rather than the business, because it affects your day to day. Then you start waking up and thinking about maybe crypto, or waking up thinking about the stock market or your real estate investment, your house. Why not just put that mental energy all back into your business? It happens slowly too. But then it just compounds and compounds. And your focus in your business, being able to keep saying no especially when you start to have the capital. That is the hardest thing. I'd say maybe 6 months ago, I didn't have the capital to invest. But now it's like, okay, now what do I do with this money? Instead of just keep focusing on the business and maybe just throw it in the S&P 500 and not worry about it for 5-10 years, just who cares about it? Let me just focus on the business. No, then you start taking higher risks. Then the FOMO is just so powerful, and it's such a powerful thing that the mind battles with every day. And I've just had so much introspection where I've been trying to analyze this, trying to analyze my brain and think, and feel those emotions when a FOMO hits. For example, the stock market's going way down, crypto's going way down. Now it would be easy for me to jump in the stock market, right? It would be easy for me to jump in crypto. And you could literally feel your heart start pounding. You start getting excited because it's new, novelty. Robert Greene talks about it in The Laws of Human Nature. He talks about how novelty is so powerful. And we always think of the grass is greener on the other side without the pain. What if the stock market crashes even more for the next 3 years? Who cares? That's just to give an example of why it's just so important to stay focused, and why you need to focus on what's actually making you money rather than focusing on passive incomes that could maybe make you a couple $1,000. And it doesn't, going back to the whole novelty thing, it just genuinely doesn't make sense to invest unless you have like $1 million plus just put aside. Let's say 500 to $1 million plus just put aside. Like, you just have it in the bank laying around. Because if you put 5,000, 10,000 in the stock market, and then that makes you, let's say, $5,000. It goes up 33%, whatever. And then you make $5,000 at the end of the year. 33% is a huge jump, and you only made $5,000. And all that mental energy you put in, what's the best stocks? What's this? Now, if you made $500,000, it's different. But playing these little games, I really genuinely see them now as just these little games of investing or parking your money somewhere else. And like I said, unless it's not the S&P 500, it doesn't make sense. And it's just our minds, and it's the dopamine rush of novelty and, the upside of this. But you were spending so much mental energy invested in politics, invested in these stupid, and I'm speaking from experience, in these stupid games the internet plays. Like, once you actually start making money from a real business, making money online, that should be your sole focus. But you're so focused on these stupid little games that you see pop up on Twitter or on Facebook. Oh, inflation's this, now we should invest in the market or jump into stocks, jump into crypto. Crypto's down. And even me talking about it makes me want to check crypto. That's how powerful this is. But like I said, why not just put every single ounce of mental energy into your business? Because like I talked about in the beginning, although it's slower in terms of, okay, let me just put a little bit of mental energy into this, right? Just 5%. If you're an entrepreneur, that's quite hard to do. It's quite difficult to put 5% of energy into something. You want to start learning more about it. You want to start going all in on it. So I found myself waking up thinking about crypto and stocks. I would dream about it. I would wake up thinking, okay, what's the stock market? What's the crypto app? And it's like, what about your business? What about the thing that's actually making you money month over month? What about that? First thing I would do is check in the morning is check the stock market. That sets you up for failure. You should be waking up thinking about your business, shouldn't you? The thing that's actually making you money, not something on the side that could possibly make you money. The ability to focus on one thing, and that is just your business. That is just how can I make more money in my business? How can I grow my business? Is one of the most difficult things I think in business. Not only just because I know once you really start to scale up, then you start taking deals from other people, but even just lower and having the question, where do I park my money? Where do I park my money is a dangerous question, in my opinion, at least for me, because I know when I get into something, I like to do it 100%. And when I don't know exactly what the inflation rates are, what the stock market price is, I start to get antsy. My mind starts to wander. So when I'm sitting here at my computer trying to do work, my mind starts to wander. And it's just the novelty of it. The grass is not greener on the other side. And I've ran into this problem before, and for some reason, it's still hard for me to learn. Do I need to get kicked in the face once again when I'm doing this type of stuff? Maybe. Maybe I need to learn my lesson again, because I've done this before, and I've made the same exact mistakes. And the reason why I make this video is hopefully someone can learn from this, and hopefully I can take my own advice from now on, from this time on, because I know what's right. I know what to do. I know how to actually start scaling the business to take it to multi-six-figure income. And I know exactly how to do that. I know what it takes. I know what to put. But then why won't you do it? Why are you focused on other things? It's such a crazy paradox in our mind, because now it's just doing the boring work. It's just waking up every day and doing the same thing over and over again. Because, in the beginning, it's like, okay, this is so new, right? And you want to it's all the new skills that you're learning. What copy, the psychology of, copy, advertising. And honestly, I'm not done learning that, but, that very beginning, because you're learning so rapidly, it's brand new dopamine hits. It's new dopamine hit after you learn something, after you get good client results. But then after a while, it's like, okay, I know what to do. I know how to sell these people. I know how to communicate with them. And you start looking around, and it's like, if you stick to this for 2 more years, you can make a lot of cash. You can make a lot of money. Even just 2 to 5 years. Stick with it. You'll make a lot of money. But it's not new anymore. And it's so counterintuitive, because now that you think, because you have all these skills, now it should be easier and it should be even more fun, I guess, and you have more momentum because it's easier. But you start looking around. Where can I park my money? It's one of the worst sentences, I think, for especially newer entrepreneurs. It's just focus on your business. Just focus on the business. Just focus on making money. Then at the end of the year, if you think you have too much cash, put in the S&P 500. That's my new plan, honestly. Is either just put it in advertising or just, and if there's enough, just put in the S&P 500 so you don't have to worry about it, versus putting into real estate. And I've seen it firsthand when other people put money in real estate, how much just cognitive energy that takes. Takes a lot. One more point I want to hit on is just the distractions that come alongside of that. Because it's not only, okay, inflation rates are this, inflation rates, the stock market is this, but then you just start checking Twitter, social media. You start checking it because you're like, what's going on in the world? And a lot of times you just don't want to know. You don't want to know specific, intricate details. Now, I'm not saying at all, like, obviously I try to do this every day, is just learn more about the intricacies of the different types of things that can influence my decisions. For example, learning about banks, learning how money's made, learning about that type of stuff. But the day-to-day things, you don't need to worry about. You don't need to know what person went on this podcast today, because I promise you that's not going to make you more money. And I'm saying this to myself because I start finding myself, that's what the internet is designed for. It is designed to be a rabbit hole. I'm an advertiser. So, and I still get trapped on it sometimes. You go for one thing. YouTube or Instagram suggestions are phenomenal, honestly. There's suggested videos, suggested this. They know exactly what you want. And it's not going to make you more money. I can tell you that. And when you look back 3 years from now, you're going to be like, wow, that really, really mattered about this person going on that podcast. Wow, I'm glad I knew that 3 years ago. Or is it, wow, I'm really glad I stayed focused, stayed through, saw the goal through, and I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, But these short-term dopamine hits are powerful. And the more awareness you can have, the more you can be aware about it. Read about the brain. Learn how the brain works. Learn how the brain gets rewarded. That's been a powerful tool for me. And I'm going to keep doing that and keep trying to avoid the distractions because they're powerful. It's where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your focus? And just you might check a notification here and there. But if you know more about the brain and learn more about it, you realize that split second that you check that notification, maybe about the stock market, maybe about this person going on that podcast, it doesn't just cost you 1 second. It costs you a lot more than just that. So yeah, this video is really, hopefully it helps. This is a lot for me as well, just so I could look back on. To know, because like I said, I'm going to repeat it one more time. I know what works now. I know what to do. I know the mission. I know the goal. But your mind starts messing with you and it starts seeing novelty. What new thing can I get into? What new thing can make me fast money? And as we all know, it's not how the world works. Yes, there are people who make stupid money in crypto. But what are the chances of that? Why not just take a bet on something that you know is proven to work? So yeah, that's the video. Just wanted to hopefully look back on this and learn some lessons, because this is definitely a lesson that I need to work on, and it's going to get harder, and I need to just keep working on staying focused with one thing at a time. I'll see you in the next video.